Right, so hello everybody, welcome to another stream. How are we doing? So I was just setting up the viewer on my laptop so I can see the chat bigger, and I got a big button to place a marker down. Right. So last stream we finished up on, oh my days, buttons. Or as you get a terminal in the file manager there, whoops. So last stream we tried to improve the anti-aliasing of the spheres, and we managed to improve it, I guess. And then, yeah, so we've improved the anti-aliasing of the spheres now, so it's more correct. It's still, the dimness still changes. We change the anti-aliasing, but that's okay. We can suss that later. So that's not the deal for today. Today what we're working on is a texture viewer, because if you notice in the past couple of streams, it's been really annoying trying to do comparisons between screenshots and stuff like this. So we just need to really improve our workflow. So the turnaround time for debugging is just quicker and less annoying. Sorry, I'm just... No flickering now. Yeah, I increased it to 4 million spheres, the buffer, so it doesn't... Oh, okay, you probably missed a bunch of things actually. But yeah, one of them was a buffer overflow. We fixed the flickering and the edges of the screen being a problem. There's still, I guess, some issues here, but one problem at a time. But yeah, it's good. We've also got blending of LODs. So if you change the pixel height, so this is at the height we select a cluster. You have to bear with me, this will be in red. I think we're going to deal with this after we come back from the texture viewer. But you can see how it fades in and out. It does alpha blending between the LODs. So when it goes to the next level of detail, it fades out the last one. So this should reduce pop in. So things don't pop in anymore. They fade in and out. So this is obviously very extreme, but you have this down here. So we'll select a cluster at 32 pixels of height. And then that should hopefully be okay. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to settle on, something like that. So yeah, it's going to be nice. Going to be good. Right, so I think I've got my setup ready. So I've got big chat here next to me on my laptop now. Hey there, Green Blade, how's it going? And I can press a button to drop a marker down whenever I feel like, hey, this thing needs to be put in the... Oh. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. Oh, you built a new keyboard, awesome. What is it, like a split keyboard or something? Alright, so off stream, I wrote a little document. By that I mean a text file. This is the plan for the resource viewer. So effectively, the workflow, right? So the workflow that we have an issue with at the moment is that we want to compare two screenshots or something like this for a small change in the pixels or something like this, and the other workflow is I want to zoom in on the screen and just see some pixels. So currently, if we run the game and use the built-in KDE one, it's blurry. And this is because it uses like a linear sampler, and it's not like the nearest sampler. So you'd have to sort of like, I've looked around all in the settings, I can't find it. And I've also looked through their source code, seeing if I could commit a patch, but yeah. So, but I couldn't find the file. But my current way of testing two screenshots is open up a screenshot tool, doing a rectangular region, selecting the region, and open that in Krita. Right, so it's a bit fiddly, a bit too many steps. Whereas what I want, yeah, then I have to do it for one more photo. Whereas what I want to replace it with is just a simple press F12, boom, pops up the texture viewer and you can view it, zoom in, right. So we'll go over these notes here. I guess the other workflow is that you go through render doc, but that's really nice when you're trying to debug a whole frame. So they're still really good tools, but it's just not really solving the problem I have right now with this texture viewer. Let's texture viewer will. Yeah, you can do the marker one, that's it, you can. Yeah, we're trying that one out. Yeah, I think you can put a label on it as well, /marker. Yeah, you can also put a description on it, /marker, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, I can't watch the whole stream. Got some friends coming around, but I might see you there. Awesome. Well, glad to have a good time. No, it's not split keyboard. It's not split keyboard. Custom keyboard with a Tsungan layout. Never know what Tsungan is. Tsungan. What is Tsungan? Probably butchering how you say it. It looks kind of QWERTY-like though. Does it? It's maybe just the other keys are a bit different. Split backspace. That's pretty similar. Right. Fair play. Cool. Not bad. Not bad. So, right, so let's go over sort of the dream of this texture viewer. Let's call it texture viewer. I was thinking we could do one for buffers, but we've already got printing in shaders, so it's kind of not going to be as useful. So let's just call it texture viewer, and then we're not going to get confused with anything. So effectively, if you're in the game, you can press F9 at any time, and you open up a full screen UI pops up above the game. You'll be able to press Shift F9 and it will give you just the texture on top of the game, and you can probably move it into a place or something like that. We'll work on that a bit more as when we do it. But it's going to be like a tabbed window-like interface, like a web browser. So you got the standard Control W, Control T, and Control Tab and Shift Tab to close the window, open a new tab, and cycle. You'll be able to reorder the tabs as well with the mouse drag. F12 will take a screenshot and open it up in a new tab. And it also saves screenshots to a folder via a timestamp, so we'll be able to just put those, like, one, keep a record, and two, just put them up on social media or something like that. There's an empty tab. The UI is just going to be a search box with a list of resources by their type, dimensions, and MIP levels. So it'd be like a fuzzy search, basically, right? Everyone loves a fuzzy search. And then if a tab has a selected texture, there'll be a left-align collapsible window with all the information about the texture, all the metadata like size and format and all of this. And then you'll have like hovered pixel, selected pixel, coordinate, value, and you can probably copy it to the clipboard. And you can change some viewing options like, hey, I want to view this array slice or this MIP level, and you'll be able to reinterpret the pixels. So if you pack information into a pixel that's not really a color, you'll be able to sort of like view that information a lot easier. Yeah, so, and then there'll be a separator, and there'll be a list of shaders that the texture was used in, and you can select the point in the frame where you want to view the texture, because you sometimes modify the texture multiple times. And then obviously on the right hand side will be the view of the texture. You can pan and zoom and select a pixel. So this is basically all we need. It shouldn't be too much work to implement something like this. I was thinking of more features, but they would have added like more time to it. But yeah, this should be really helpful to like take a couple of screenshots, compare the results, keep an archive of the screenshots, but also view textures throughout time of the frame and debug problems. Because I think if I build up the game right now, every 10 times I build up the game, there's a glitch where the volumes don't get generated correctly. And I'm trying to trigger it now, but I can't. But yeah. But yeah, let's get started on that then. So let's go to. So the first thing approach I want to take to getting this working is I want to probably build the UI out first and probably just hard code a single texture, and then we'll do the rest of the plumbing the background for the other features like screenshots and selecting different ones. Yeah. So we're going to start off by going into the UI code base. And I think there's something I need to add, because we have a problem right now where if you hover over the UI, it doesn't stop this game window from doing anything. When you like, the UI parses the mouse events and the game parses the same mouse events, no matter if the UI is clicked or anything like this. So this is a big problem if we do something full screen, and this is just going to keep moving around and clicks are going to be able to do anything. So like how I stopped it there is I have a thing where I press the escape key and it sort of just pauses it. But yeah, so we need to put something in the UI. Well, we need to say like, has the UI used the event or something like that. So let's just find that quick. So what do we do, like a mouse position? Right, update focus state. So I think as soon as you record one of these happening, then it's probably like saying, hey, we've successfully, grip is pressed, use the event, isn't it? Thank you, Singmo. Yeah, this is the way. Don't need none of that Vulkan HPP, you know? Yeah, it's just much simpler. What's the game? Are you working on a game or something, or an engine? So by these, we kind of just need to know when the UI has. I think we'll make a global, right? Everything is global, right? And we'll have a way where we can publicly access that through a function. So I think we'll just say like, yeah, the UI used Boolean has so we want to say like this, the UI has used the input, I guess. So has used input. I guess that's what we want to phrase it. So we'll add this thing. All right. Returning that. So I was thinking ahead for a minute. So we need to put this in the frame start. So where the frame starts, when we start doing some UI, we want to chuck in here a false to say, hey, it hasn't used the input of this frame. So with this now, what we can do is anytime we use, so OS, I think we just look for OS, and we're going to see like if this is something where it deems that the UI has used the input from the operating system. Okay, so update mouse focus, so we get the mouse position. So we don't care if someone gets mouse focus. That's not enough to steal the input. If someone presses space on something, then yes, that is enough. So if someone like clicks just going through getting up and running, have an ARPG in mind eventually though. It's fun converting C++ code that's in there to see. Lots of learning going on. Yeah, nice. Yeah, Vulkan is one of those APIs where it's like, it definitely blows a few things in your brain trying to learn it. But yeah, if you're building an abstraction, highly recommend just saying, do I need this? And if you don't need it, just get rid of it, because there's a lot of stuff you can build into your abstraction, and it just adds to the work. So start off by just doing like dead basic stuff, and then improve. It probably extend the API from there, because there is a lot of stuff. Going through the graphics pipeline, had some struggles with the shader part, but also nice. Yeah, when you first see, so while it is pressed, yeah, it's saying that absorbed it. Yep. Yeah, it's funny when you first see that graphics pipeline, it just like you're like, what is? Yeah, it's just like so much information. Is mouse focused? So if we're looking for when you do a press though. Yeah, so when you do a press, when you do all these, we'll say, you know what? There's an easy, this function is only called once. So yeah, basically whenever, yes, this only gets called in the base widget thing. Yeah. So we'll do like an if statement, right? And we'll just do that. Oh, I don't think it needs to be an if statement. It could just be a bit of magic. Focus state, right? So if something's focused, that's not worthy, I think. So something's been pressed, double pressed, held, or released. That is when we've used the input. Yeah, that's just all the bits that we want. Right, so this is specifically for the focus state stuff. So I guess we'll just cast that to Boolean or something. Okay, that's good. So the next time we use state, let's look around for some other operating system stuff. In here. Yes, this is the function we've just looked at. There's another one where we do the sliding, when we do the scroll bars. Oh no, this is for the slider. Yeah, so if the grip is pressed, so I think we want to say if the grip is pressed, we're going to OR that onto there. And I think that is something we missed on the other one. Not that, yeah, technically it's correct if we OR equals on. because something else could have said it at the same time. Okay, what's the next time we use some OS stuff? This is on the grip. Right on the list. That's when you scroll. If there's some amount of scroll, we're gonna make it true. What is this one? Scroll bar. Oh, on the list. Okay, yeah, scroll bar on the list. So if scroll bar is focused and the mouse button is pressed, true. And the mouse button is pressed and is within the scroll bar area or whatever. Right, we're going to set that to true there, so we have used input. And we keep going. This is on the scroll area, so very similar to the list, but it supports multiple dimensions of scrolling. So if you have any amount of scroll on that wheel, we're going to put true in there. And if you have any amount of click on the scroll bars, we're going to put true in. Yeah, it's just been clicked. Right. Then if the mouse has moved a bit, we'll put true in there. And if the scroll bar has been pressed inside, it's moved a bit. Right, okay, so I think that's nearly all of them. Right, so when you update the text boxes, so I've typed onto the keyboard, and this function gets called, I guess I've already fed it the text input. I think that's the way it works. The API is, yeah, text input, you put the strings in that you get from X11 or whatever, for all keyboard presses in a UTF-8. And then you call update explicitly. For some reason, that's the way it's designed. Yeah, for some reason. But yeah, so we're saying if the yeah, the backspace has been pressed. That's only if the buffer has anything. When do we say if it's been used and absorbed the input? Yeah, I guess you always do it. All of these. Left is pressed. So this is to do the text box navigation. Right, so I think we're nearly there. Operating system. Frame end, if the left mouse button has been pressed and there's no next focus on the keyboard, then we clear it out. Okay, so I think we're going to put all our booleans in now. So now, right. Also just being, because currently I'll fix it later when I have a bigger picture. Yeah, it's fine. Like, so put it this way, you're probably going to throw away the code you're writing. And it's not bad to think about it that way. And not really throw away, you're just going to open up a new file and copy over the bits that are good. And then, like, you know, yeah, it's the way things go. It is a big, complex machine, Vulkan. Right, so let me put a marker down and recap this. Okay, so we start off by adding this function here to see if the UI has used the input events from the operating system. So when we drag sliders and things like this, the events won't be allowed to be passed through to the game window, or to the game underneath, if you will. Like the UI, we need to know when the UI has used the event, so we can stop like the game from moving or whatever if there's some UI that pops up over the screen, which is what this texture resource viewer thing is going to be. So I just got so essentially it's just a boolean that's in here in this global data structure called has used input, and essentially when we begin a frame in this immediate mode UI, we are setting it to false, and then as we run over all the UI and build it, we find all the places that the OS event input is read, and when it's read successfully and we act on it, we set this boolean to true. So here the backspace has been pressed, so we'll set it to true, saying that hey, the UI has used this event. So don't take any of the events, don't take any events and try and use it for the game, basically. So any chance, this one's saying if the widget has been pressed or double pressed or held or released, we're gonna say the UI has used up the input. So there's a nice boolean there ready for us to use, which is nice. Okay. So I'm glad we got that sussed. Just make sure that compiles. So the next thing we're going to work on is actually building the UI. So yeah, I've got terminal on here now. I pressed the button. That works. Because you always want a terminal on that file manager. Yes, it's going to the workbench. We'll go into Game Event Engine. So the way the project is architected is we have a GPU layer, which is just an abstraction over Vulkan and any other graphics API wants to target in the future. And then we have GFX, which is built on top of that GPU layer. And this thing has all of the graphics code in it and all the shader code. Right, so this is the platform abstraction. This is the actual game code, if you will. I'm wondering where this should go, because it's just a few textures at the end of the day, and the textures are kind of built into the GPU. So I'm thinking it's a debug UI for the GPU app abstraction. So I'm thinking about chucking it in there. It's quite a slim. It's quite slim. So I need 300 lines of header for this GPU abstraction, because we just use compute shaders, so it's quite not a lot. We've even got profiling information in here as well. So I think I might do another one, another header, and we're just going to say, oh, this is the texture viewer, and literally we'll be able to say, oh, GPU texture viewer UI, and then it just does the UI for it. We shall see. No worries, good. Green, good to see you. Hey, Voto, how's it going? Yeah, not doing bad, not doing bad. Got some more sleep, so not as tired as I have been the last few days. And it's a bank holiday weekend, so I got some more off. Hope to get more sleep. Ah, Green Blade, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it, mate. Okay. So what is next? So I guess we're just gonna call this guy from the we'll probably call it. So where do we upload the UI stuff? Here. So before here, we need to finish doing with our UI. So right before, we'll just plop that in there. Boom. Oh man, Green Blade is so kind. Thank you, sir. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Thank you, Green Blade. um, so what we want to do, I guess, is just let's just test it works. No problem. Want to see the game finished? Oh boy. Yeah, it's gonna be a while till Congo finish, but yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. I'm looking forward to this year and the rendering that we're gonna get achieved this year. Because we're on the rendering R&D phase right now, and I'm liking the direction we're going in, and I would like to see where we end up at the end of the year with this. And then hopefully when we have a graphics art style, maybe we'll settle on a game as well. I got some ideas for the game. I got a document I've written up, but I don't want to commit to that design because it's just my first one I've just spent time on. I want to have a series of goes before I be like, oh, this is the one we're making. So I'm just building the stuff we're gonna definitely need for no matter what game I want to make. Obviously, I'm confining myself to, well, confining. I am steering myself in a way it's gonna be a 3D game, right? You know, but yeah, just building some of the initial technology and trying to help that drive the decision a bit. Interesting. Is this like a voxel thing? It's kind of. Oh, this is the glitch I'm talking about. This is the thing I can't debug too easy. I'm just getting holes in my volumes. But yeah, here's an easy way to tell what's going on. So basically, we've got clusters, which is a 4x4x4 sets of spheres, and it's a whole LOD tree of clusters. So the first LOD is just one cluster, and then that has an octree of children. And so basically, you can think of it as like a voxel system, but instead of spawning voxels, we spawn spheres. But here's the twist: it's only grid aligned in local space, but I plan on animating this, doing animations and like probably having like bones attached to it and stuff, right? And skeletal animation. But that all will come. Yeah, this is the glitch I've got to fix. This is why the texture view is going to be handy. To be able to see the volume construction and see where it got messed up a bit better, I think. So yeah, it's kind of like voxels, but then it's going to be kind of not. Hey, Sokam. I have you, but I don't have any textures. Am I not allowed? Good question. Yeah, yeah, yes, you are. You can stay. You can stay, Sokam. I'll allow you just as once. How's it going, Sokam? What have you been up to? It's been time. Time. So we're gonna test this works. So I have some UI up here. Let's just find it. Ah, here we go. This box style is obviously amazing. So we're gonna take it. And then I just want to put stuff on the screen. So here we go. So I'm making my my GPU library aware of UI. Let's do it. This is the way. So here's the style. It's obviously the most amazing thing you'll ever see. And we're just going to spawn a something. What do I want to spawn? A box? Yeah, spawn a box which covers the whole window. So put the rectangle in there for the window. I think just the style goes in now. Right. And there we go. A full screen piece of UI. So obviously we're not going to put this box as the background. It's damn ugly. But yeah, something we can what kind of games are you into playing? I don't play too many games lately anymore. I don't really have the time. But I just sat down and played like half an hour of Stellar Blade because I got given a code of that through work. It was quite fun actually. I really enjoyed it. It was also quite funny as well because it's like while you're running around, there's like all this like anime music playing. It was quite funny, but it's the gameplay is really fun. I want to play more of that. But yeah, maybe play a bit more tomorrow. Well, since you're the shader guy, why do I always have to compile shaders for games myself? Seems like every game lets user compile. So the reason is because the graphics drivers so the games compile shaders into a bytecode, which is like LLVM-IR. So effectively it's like a high-level assembly which you can sort of optimize, do a lot of optimizations on. And then they ship that with the game. And then the graphics driver will compile it further into the final assembly for that graphics card. Now, generally, from my understanding, is they don't change through generations. So like you have like AMD RDNA 2 and RDNA 3 will be different. But the cards will probably be they'll be mostly the same. But I'm sure they'll have little changes because the GPU vendors have full control over this. So now and then they'll be like, oh, well, this card has this different hardware, slightly different hardware here, so we'll do this thing instead. So it allows them to hyper optimize the shader code for that specific hardware. But the problem is obviously you don't get to ship a final result, and you know that is the thing that gets ran on all hardware. And the reason is because GPUs don't all work the same. And yeah, they would they want, you know, for the game developer you'd have to compile maybe one for NVIDIA, one for each generation of NVIDIA, one for each generation of AMD. So maybe that's already 8 cards maybe, right? Or 8 different compilations when you ship. So I guess that could get quite annoying. But yeah. And there'll be the more of you support mobile. So I guess that's the reason. But what would be nice if that was the fallback? And what would happen is if you could compile specifically for a generation of hardware that you actively develop on, and maybe you could ship that. But yeah, we don't live in that world, unfortunately. So that's the answer, really. Right, I'm just going to recap over what we've done, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so what we decided to do is we decided to put the texture viewer in the GPU abstraction. So this just abstracts on top of Vulkan, the Vulkan API, and perhaps more in the future. And it's just a tiny, like 200 line or 300 line header file, which abstracts over the GPU and allows us to create buffers, textures, and stuff like this. I was going to stick it in the GFX library, which is to do with, or the folder, which is to do with the game graphics code. But then I was thinking it's kind of like it's about viewing textures, and GPU is in control of the texture itself. So we're going to stick the viewer in there. So we've just gone ahead and made a function called GPU texture viewer UI, and this will do the immediate mode UI. And we've just gone ahead and set up this kind of nice looking style, I guess, maybe. And got the window rectangle, and we just put a box which covers the window, and we built up the game, and there it is. So we're going to go ahead and carry on with the rest of the UI from there. So we want to make it so we can toggle this opening and closing. So the state needs to live in the GPU backend. So let's get that open there. Crying out loud. So in the GPU backend, we've got this lovely data structure. So we need to know if the texture viewer is open. And maybe there's going to be a couple of states, actually. There's going to be a few states. So what we're going to do is we're going to chuck this in the header file, and it's going to be a lovely enum. GPU texture viewer open state, I guess. It's a bit full screen, and then the other ones is going to be something like so there's going to be a view. If we go back to the documentation, there's going to be a view. Yeah, if you just press Shift F9, you can. It's like an on top. Yeah, so we'll call it like an on top view. And then we'll have obviously 0, meaning 0 memory default being closed. So that'd be quite nice. So we now got this function called GPU texture viewer open state. And so we'll be able to query that from outside, because this might be useful again to know whether or not we want to allow input or something. I don't know, let's just make it accessible at least. So let's plop that there, and we'll return GPU texture viewer dot open state. So this is some structure that we're going to have internally, and it's just going to be dumped I guess here then. So here's the nice. So So this is just going to go in the global data structure like all good things. So just plop in here somewhere. Excellent. Have I got your Windows 10? No. No Windows. I run it, I job it. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to say, okay, if so we want to be able to say if OS virtual keyboard if the key code has been pressed specifically for just say key code. Yeah, key code. So the key code has been pressed for has been pressed. So it's been pressed this frame. OS keyboard key code for F9, wasn't it? Yeah. So if F9 has been pressed, we need to check if the shift key is pressed. There's a key mod. It should all be one word, but I haven't changed that. Has been pressed or is pressed bit set. Is the OS key mod shift, any of the shifts, left or right? Are any of those pressed? If they are, then the GGPU texture viewer open state is equal to texture viewer open state on top. Else it's equal to full screen. And so this will only open the texture viewer. It won't close it. So if you press Shift and F9, you always get the on top view. But if you press F9 and it's open in any way, it will close. I think that's the way I want it to work. So we'll just say if is equal to closed, then we'll make it full screen. If not, we'll just close it. And I think that's the way I want to roll with the design there. You know, technically you probably do the same thing for the on top thing, but the on top is kind of like a special case. So I guess you can decide either way there on that design. Oh, the cable fell out my other. Okay, so I think that's reasonable. So what we're going to say is like, oh, okay, well if GGPU texture viewer open state is equal to closed. I could have just copied that line over there, but well, hey. Then we're just going to return early and cool. So let's test this one out. Right, so we now should be able to press F9 and open up full screen. So F9, there's our texture viewer. And press F9 again and close it. Awesome. So we probably also want to allow for. No, pressing escape will just be a bit dodgy. I feel like I have a bit of a trigger finger for escape because I use Vim, right? It's just the way you just escape to normal mode. So yeah, I won't do that. That'd be annoying. Right. So let's take a look at some other easy pickings. So should we start on the empty tab? That'd be a bit of fun, right? It's kind of we can get a bit of a fuzzy search going and a list going. Or should we work on the tabs? The tabs are kind of essential. But yeah, I guess let's get a bit of content in there at least. So, um, so we're going to do a box start, and then we're going to do a box end. So this means it has children in between these two. So, so we want a text box in the middle. So the way we need to do that probably is, we have this sort of UI cut, rectangle cut thing. So we can center a line. We can I guess I can start from the top and then just do some horizontal lines on it. Yes, we can cut top, then do a horizontal line. So if we make another rectangle, we'll call this one like A or whatever. And this one is going to be coming from rectangle. Let's say let's say it's got 100 height. Maybe it's a bit too much for the search box. And then we're going to do another cut. And this is going to cut up A, and we'll tell it to center horizontally. So it's going to cut off this amount each side. Wait. No, we want it to be, how big do we want it to be? Let's say it needs to be probably 400 pixels. And then we're going to put a box down. What is going on? Oh, okay, it just modifies that rectangle. Right, it doesn't produce another one, of course. So we've got center horizontally. Now we can put a text field down, so text. Throw in the rectangle. Then we need to put in the string, so I can put, wait, text box. This is a text field. Input text, that's what it is, yeah. Because you can have different input boxes for integers and stuff. And vectors as well. So we're going to put in a text. And this is a C string. So we can just simply put our thing static here. And we put a lovely filter. And let's just say it has a maximum number of characters of 32, because hopefully we've found it by then. So we chuck in filter. Wait, chuck in. Oh yeah. Chuck in the ID is automatic. Chuck in the rectangle buffer, size of the buffer, and then followed by the style. So everything has the lovely box style for now. This is the way. And let's give this a go. Right, so let's give this filter box a go. So this input box, and let's put this boy up. So we press F9. And here's our text box, and we should be able to filter some textures later on. But yeah, it goes up to 32. So it's centered, it's centered, but yeah, it's a bit too much vertical height. We want to reduce that a bit. And I guess it goes off. I thought I have clipping, not gonna lie. I don't know where the clipping's gone. I think it's just on maybe the text filter we don't get the clipping. That's interesting. So let's widen that up a bit. So 600, and let's drop it to probably 60 probably. F9 and name of the texture I want to find. Yeah, nice. It says our input box. next thing we want to do is get a list of textures and draw those boys in there. So we have a list widget. So we put a rectangle again. So we did cut top and then we modified it here. I'm not sure if I like this API. Because it makes me force copy it anyway. We might change this. I wonder if I use it anyway. Grep. Cut center. Right, it's purely been defined and never used, so this is why we don't know this. I don't remember this as being a problem. So what I really want is no, I can just keep using rectangle. Yeah, because that'll modify a rectangle. A is the temperature. Yeah. No, this is fine. So we should be able to cut from rectangle again and produce ourselves. So let's say, do I need to cut? I can just say use the remaining height, I think. So I think I can just say, hey, just use the rest of it because I don't really care for anything else in the. And we should. So we need the list state. What is that? What did past me make? Past me was like, this is the way. Future me is a bit confused. Ah, right, it holds like the scroll Y, the item range in which you need to place in there, and the item heights. Oh, they're in and out parameters. Oh, right. Okay, so the list state will fill all this in proper. Designated initializers. Oh. So scroll Y, that is in and out. We don't mind if that is 0, so we'll leave it out. Out parameter, item height in parameter. Yeah, so you got to do a fixed height. So I think we're just going to say like 80 or something. 1. Maybe it's a bit too. No, probably 60 is fine. Number of items. So this is where we need to get the number of GPU resources that are textures. So we don't have that right now. We have the resources pool, but we don't have the number of buffers or textures. So let me just get that number. Buffers count and textures count. So every time we initialize a buffer and a texture. So GPU buffers count plus equal 1, and then textures count plus equal 1. I have a feeling we're going to have some built-in resources that we might miss, like the final surface maybe. But we can add those in later. They could be a future problem. Hang on a minute, I don't want to mess this up. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have some built-in ones. They're built into the GPU and shared. Yeah, so the surface here, that's a texture. Buffer, and the rest are buffers. So we need to start off on 1. So when we do a GPU initialize, we actually initialize all the built-in resources in a lovely array. So there is a surface here. Here we go. So we add 1 for the surface. Oh yeah. So that's good. So we can now go back to where we did that list. And we can say, okay, the number of items is literally the number of textures that we have. So it can do all the scroll bar logic and sort that out based on the item height and the item's count and how big the rectangle is on the screen. So we chuck in a pointer to the list state and we carry on. So the other ones is obviously the UI. So we're going to put in the super ugly box style. And then we're going to end it. Oh, and then here we've got to place in the list items. So for the list items, I forgot what past me decided was a good idea. I think I could put anything in there. But I forgot. Oh yeah, I think the idea is the user just controls what is selected manually. You just put like buttons in there or something. So we can just put some buttons and we can put it in like a text button. And I think we could do one with a format. No, you can't do one with a format, but that's not a big deal because you can just do it this way. So how does the list modify the rectangle again? Right, it tells you if it is visible, and that's a big deal. So we can do some of that. Does the box return invisible as well? Of course it does. So that needs to happen. Alright, so we've got this button, and we're going to say if yeah, I think we use the rectangle. I don't think the rectangle doesn't actually change. I think it just adds padding, border and padding to it, so it offsets. So I think we can just keep cutting from this. So I think we just say, hey, cut. Well, and I think it offsets it based on the scroll as well, something like that. So basically, keep cutting. We'll produce ourselves an A. We'll cut by 60, as we said we would here, and then we put A in there. And then we're going to put a bit of text in here, I think. Yeah, text and a style. So again, we'll put in the super crummy box style. This is the way. We can improve the style a bit later. So we need to put in a string. How do we do the string? Well, as you do in C, just make a temporary buffer where things go, so let's call it name. And maybe the maximum name we need is probably 64. I forgot what it is in the... Right, there's a debug name, it could be anything. So we'll just do 64. It's probably too much, but let's just give that a go. So we'll put a name in there, and then we do an smprintf. Name, size of name, and then we put in the resource. Now, where is the resource? And we haven't even got the loop in here yet. So we need to go over all of the textures, but we also need to find the next so we'll have like a resource index, and we're just going to scan over the whole resource pool. Wait, we have an iterator. Yes, we have an object pool where all of our resources live. So it's a GPU resource, it could be a texture or a buffer, and has all the metadata in there which we're going to display, and it's going to be nice. I forgot I did sampler. Interesting. And then we have the resource pool, which is just an object pool. So basically, it's it's like a pool allocator, but specifically for one type. So we have like a free list, and we use identifiers or handles, as some people call them, to so we have a resource ID which has a counter in the high bits, so we can tell if something has been freed more than once, or used after it's been freed. So it's really nice, super handy. So, but we have an iterator. So let me just dive back into the core code. and find where we do the object pool stuff. So it's kind of like we use macros to sort of basically emulate templates. I tried to minimize this where possible, but this has only been the way to get it all type safe and work nice. So we've got an iterate next, and it works based on the ID. Oh, this is so good. So much easier than any C++ iterator. So you basically just make yourself a GPU resource ID, and you just say res ID, and we zero it. So that's a null ID. Then all we need is a pointer to the resource that we want to have. So it's just resource, I think we call it, because res is kind of can mean anything. And now the idea is, so I guess we won't do this for loop. Instead, we'll do a while loop, and we'll do a core object pool iter next for the resources, pass in the pointer to the GPU resources pool, and we take an address to the current resource we're looking at, and then the resource pointer. So the way the iterator works is it basically looks at the res ID and be like, what is this? And it looks at it, it says it's null. Well, because it's null and we're saying iterate to the next one, we're going to start from the beginning. And it'll go all the way until it reaches the end. So we can use that instead. And now we have this, we can say, right, do I want to smprintf into it? Yeah, because I want to stick all of the extra bells and whistles in there. So first of all, we say, okay, if the type is equal to a buffer or something like that. Yeah, I guess, do I have anything to say if it's a text or something like that? I don't think I do. So we need to add those in really. Well, just the one, right? We'll add what we need. If not, we can spend too much time on these things. So GPU resource type is texture. So we'll just plop that in there like that. You know, it could be a lookup table. I'm thinking in my C++ mind here for a minute when actually we have designated initializers. So it's just pretty easy, right? So you just extern boolean GPU resource type is texture, and you just simply man, designated initializers are the way. Why didn't that copyright? Right. So you find the so I think about macro. Past Henry's probably saved the day. 5 at t's, yeah. So I can just do some of that and false, false, true, true, true. Okay. So now I've got this lovely lookup table. Obviously it has the problem where you can index out of bounds, but you know, we like that unsafeness in C, right? Is the way. So in the UI, we have this for loop, or this while we iterate over all of the objects. So now we just say, hey, if the thing is not a texture, then we continue to the next item. Now we know this one is a texture, so now what we can do is we can put in, now I'm thinking about it, right? It probably isn't good that we do put it in the string. I think what we want to do is have like essentially columns, with these entries. So for now what we'll do is we'll just test it out, see the name, and then we'll put the improvement in. So I'm just going to put in literally resource, debug name, and then we can look into making it better. So I might need this buffer here for displaying. Right. So here's all of our resources. Apparently it's not scrollable for some reason. Yeah, obviously a lovely theme. You can click on them. It doesn't do anything. Scroll wheels here for some reason doesn't scroll, even though it should. I don't know why that is. We can see. We only need to end if it's visible. That's not the problem though. It would have died in many other ways. Yeah, I don't know why we had that. Here's the reason why. We made this get created every frame. Why is that a problem? Because it's got a bunch of out variables in it. Yeah, this should be persistent between frames. Right. Warning. Right, so I see this in the future. This should be persistent between frames. Mark this as static or live in dynamically allocated memory. Because it's got some out parameters where it retains the scroll Y and also how big all the item range is. That's an interesting one, item range. We are only allowed to display the first. Right, okay. So let's make it persistent and then we'll solve the problem. So let's see the scroll bar resolved, hopefully. No. Shoot. I'm expecting this to have a bigger scroll, so I don't know why. That is, how many textures are we saying that is? Damn it, I re-enabled the... Only 6 textures. Only 6. Clearly, that's wrong. So apparently I didn't put that. Right, texture views. We've got texture views as well. Those were missed. I wonder what else there is texture-wise. No, that's all. Maybe there is only, yes, there's a bunch of views. Okay, brilliant. So now we have a scroll. It's not showing a different item. You can see it's just, the scroll wheel is scrolling, but the item keeps repeating back, right? Because it's surface. That's because the way the UI thing works is it only renders the ones in the middle, but in the user code I haven't offset the one that we start on. So remember when we had that sort of like range parameter? Perfect. So you have a range, item range. Basically, we want to know item index equals 0. We want to say while item index is greater than, less than list state.item range.start. then we want to continue to the next item, because we're not going to put a button here for that. Then we also want to say, oh, okay, well, if the item is greater than or equal to the end, then we have clearly finished looking at all of these guys, so don't put any more down. And that will be the fix for the scrolling. So here F9, and that clearly broke. Logic is a bit wrong. Yeah, why is that? Persistent. Right, we never incremented the item index. Obviously, right. So let's give that a go. Hit F9, scroll the scroll wheel, and we still don't work. Right, it's because we want this to happen in these continues as well. So really, it's like, yeah, screw it. That's fine. So hit F9. We've only got a handful. That's clearly not right. Why is it thinking... Wait, this continue is wrong. Yes, you don't put one here because this one's a buffer, or it's not a texture, and that doesn't count as an item. Whereas it counts as an item if it's just less than. Right, and then we scroll. There we go. So we're gonna scroll there. We probably can bring this font down and all that, but we just care about functionality right now. We can tweak the theme in later, and obviously it's really ugly, but this is the way. So now, let's just recap that. Okay, so we've just written out the list logic. So we got our filter box here still, and we've got this list element. So we start the list element, we've got this list state here, where we say, hey, this is the item size, and this is how many items we have. We're going to make sure it's static, so it's persistent between frames. And essentially, when it holds stuff like the scroll bar Y offset, and the item range we need to populate in the list, because we only populate the bits within the list view itself and not outside. And so we start that. If it's visible, we're going to use our object pool iterator. So we start our resource ID off at null, and then we just uninitialize that, it's fine. So when we iterate, it starts from the beginning of the object pool. If it's not a texture, we skip it. If we're not inside the item range, we skip those or break if we go past the end. And then if we pass that, we just place down a button for our resource. So let's go ahead and see that. So we hit F9. Here's our lovely looking search box, which doesn't work just yet, but we're soon to get that plugged in. But we've got all of our elements in here. So these are all our texture views and that. We've got to go ahead and fill in that other information though, but this is a start, that's for sure. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is obviously plug in that filter box. And probably when you, well, we can make that behave, yeah, we can do the auto focus later. That's definitely a finishing touch, I think. But yeah, so we have support for that. So you put the, so you got this filter, but we did nothing with it. Do I have a fuzzy search? I don't think I've got one in this code base. Right. It's just a wish at the moment. Let's make the wish come true. So yeah, I don't need to Google for it, it's easy. So in core, so we've got like strings somewhere, string, amazing. So we're gonna make a fuzzy compare. I guess we'll just return a boolean for now. There's things you want to know, like hey, how many? Because if you're gonna rank it nicely, but let's just do a boolean for now. Fuzzy compare. So I guess we'll do a couple of core strings, which basically says a size on it, right? So A and B, or I guess you want to probably do like needle and haystack, I guess. Do you want to do it that way? So needle's what you're searching for, haystack's obviously the thing you're looking at. Yeah, I think you want to do it that way. It's quite basic to get one of these in. So effectively fuzzy search, I guess everyone has their own idea what fuzzy search is, but this is the completely like loosey-goosey one, where you just keep trying to search for the character throughout the haystack, and you just basically... Yeah, I guess they always return... Wait. Yeah. I think we want to return the number of matched. We want to return the number of matched. Returns number of matched. So you got the needle. And I guess you want to say the number of matched characters. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, but I think you have a problem where you could say get the same score, but you can get the same score, but I think it's okay because we search in an ordered list. So I think the result will always be the same. So I don't think we need to care about this. I don't think we need to care about the score. Maybe you should really sort this. Yeah, let's just return the number because it could be useful for some other things. But so basically, you have essentially your needle cursor, and then you have your haystack cursor, and all you're doing is just going over all the chars, right? So while loops, maybe. Yeah, because I think we've got to manually do something. I don't know. Right, so you're going over. Wait. You're going over every character in the haystack. While we're going over everything in the haystack, so we get the char out. Haystack dot data haystack cursor, and you're basically saying if C is equal to needle dot data needle cursor. Yeah, we've got to put some safety around the needle as well, but let's just do that for now. Then this will mean that the needle cursor advances. By 1. And then you always advance the haystack. Cursor. I think you return the needle cursor. So I think something like that, we've seen a bit of safety around it, you know, which doesn't mean rewrite in Rust. It just means if statements. But yeah, haystack cursor. That could have just been made a for loop by the looks of it, but we pick up the character. Yeah, I think that's right. So basically, if the needle cursor is equal to needle size, then you just break, right? And then you just need to check if needle size is equal to 0, then you return. And maybe if needle or haystack dot size is equal to 0, then you just return like that. Hey Sleepy Mushroom, how's it going? Yes, I think that'll be enough, right? We can extend it and make it more in the future, but I think that's logically correct enough. So we can find where we were. Here we are. And now, so the problem is now you've done this fuzzy search, right? And what you've discovered is you're actually putting less items in this item list now than you said you are. So the scroll bar is not going to make any sense. So what we're going to actually have to do is move this logic out, put it here, and say, you know, fill up a temporary array. Right, nice and easy. Wait, have I got a temporary allocator? Oh yeah, I think it's part of the I think I got frame allocator, game frame allocator. Yeah. So I haven't done multi-threading yet, so it's all yeah, nice and easy to get access to. But yeah, in the future we'll actually no, this is TLS, thread local storage, so maybe this will work. So we get our allocator interface. So we just basically just go, oh yeah, the maximum number of should we just do resource pointers? Because you're gonna have access. Yeah, resource pointers. So here's all the textures, filter textures. And that's equal to core allocate array of type GPU resource pointer. And we want at most this many. Right, we're never going to overflow by that many. Have that much. So put all those in there. And we need the allocator to go in. Allocator. Boom. So we've got some memory allocated. And now we just basically do this wonderful for loop. But kind of adjusted. So we don't have this item index anymore. This complicated item index goes away. And what we want to do is just say, we don't need the button. We want to say if core string fuzzy compare, the needle is core string. So I guess I could do a C string version. I'm good, got all the stuff in my engine now. All the stuff. That's what you need. Complete it. Awesome. So now I can work on gameplay. Wow. That's a good place to be in. Nice. Congratulations on all the stuff. You got any ideas on the game you want to be working on? Have you got that all designed up? What game do you work on at your day job? That is kind of kind of secret. Unfortunately, it's under NDA. But what I can tell you is I'm an engine/graphics programmer, and yeah, it's what I do throughout the day to day. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't speak about anything until it's been publicly announced. Yeah, which is a shame. But that's cool. I get the reasons why. Yeah, all CPP. So that's why you start seeing me fall into a few C++ habits sometimes where I forget about certain wonderful C features because it's not in there. But yeah, C++, it's okay. The style is mixed across the studio. Some people really like C++. Some people don't like too much C++, and then like there's me where I just don't like any C++ really, because I know as soon as I like have it access to it, I just get tempted and I just convince myself, oh yeah, this feature's going to be good, and this feature's going to be good. And then you've just written something where you're like, I can just not have used that feature and it would have been fine. Yeah, C++. So, yeah, it's good. I really enjoy my job. It's a lot of fun and challenging, and I work with great people as well. Oh. Honor Zig will ever make it to game dev. I guess it will over time. You know, it just depends whatever becomes popular. The problem is right now is there's a bunch of noise, like in the programming language space. Everyone's diving into some niche, and eventually, one will come out on top, and the rest will be forgotten about. And that answer might be C++ still. Like you never know. Like the new languages just have to, you know, provide something real new for people to really change over. Hey there, welcome, Hannes. I just butchered that name. I see no vowel, so I just invent vowels. And Ants, welcome, Ants. How's it going? How are you doing? So we're throwing in here a couple of C strings. So the needle is the debug name. Wait. No. The needle is the filter. I'm looking for it in this box. And then the haystack is the... There we go. Right. So, and away we go. So we're saying if this is the case, we're going to bump this on here. Filtered textures count 0. Then we're simply just going to bump. Give that a good old bump by 1. And then we're going to go ahead and plop the resource pointer in there. It'll be valid because we're not going to move around any memory until we actually access it. So we just plop on the resource pointer and voila. So now this is isolated the filtering code. A lovely temporary allocate array, nice and quick. And now this list logic is going to be far simpler. Now we simply just say, okay, the number of elements that we have is filtered textures count instead. What is going on? Did I close too many brackets? I closed too many brackets. Okay, so then we go make a list. Now rather than this object port iterator, we just do the for loop. Now we just say for, and we have an index, and the range is list state item range start, list state item range end. Oh yeah. Now it is heavily simplified. It is as easy as something like this. Filtered textures. So add that if we need it. Right, so we try that out. Let's give it a go. Does it work? Right. So what we want to know, so we want to let it pass if there's nothing in there. Right, nothing in the filter, and if I start writing a weird, right. So, have a think. Some of these are so long though. Yeah, volume, cluster. Why isn't my G key working? That's not good. Why isn't my G key working? Oh, it is there. Right, something's weird with the G key. I don't know what's going on. My G's not working. But yeah, still, like, so I put FP in there, and I guess just F is anything that's shown up. Okay, what else do we want to think about? How we can make this better. So we could make it highlight the, you know, if this was a good search field, you would show up, and you'd underline, like, you would color differently the text or something like that to say, oh, this is the search thing that it got recognized on. We could do that. Hey, Chandu. Yo. Well, what we're trying to do, we're just trying to work on a filtered search box right now. Fills a list of textures. So these are all the textures in the game. We're just doing a little filled box right now. Yeah, I guess you can communicate by the ABI, but the problem is whenever people program in Rust, it feels dirty using the word unsafe, right? So they don't want to use the word unsafe, and you have to when you interface with the ABI. And I guess when you use other languages as well, you won't be able to use like the slices or something like that, when you pass those around. So you actually lose a lot of functionality, and maybe if people start putting ints in places like cints. So yeah, well maybe not the integer bits. Maybe we'll just use like a U32 and that's fine. But yeah, you don't get to use all the lovely language features when you interop with C sometimes. I don't have to worry about freeing because I'm using it's called a frame allocator. This one has the lifetime of a frame. So that's what that one is. So it's like it's a linear allocator or a bump allocator, and we just bump allocate memory, and then at the beginning of a frame, it gets reset back to 0, or an integer moves back to 0 again. So yeah, so we can just allocate dynamically quite nicely and quickly. I mean, if you want any resources on that, I can send you some resources if you need them. Yeah, exactly. It's like an arena, but it's just one arena. I have arenas still, but I just have linear allocators as well. Yeah, exactly. This is the way. So I'm wondering how much effort I should put into this. I want to definitely add some extra bells and whistles to this. Wait, let me just document this for a minute. Right, so we changed around the way the filtering code works. Now we temporarily allocate an array, and we effectively go over all of the resources here, and we say if the filter has nothing in it, or if there's a fuzzy search comparison which is successful, we add the filtered resource, which is a texture, because this if statement here must be a texture, into this filtered textures array. And then now in the list view, it's been heavily simplified. We simply just go over, we say, hey, the list has this many items that has passed the filter, and we start the list and go over all of the elements from the start to the end of the window that we view in the list view, and we only put other buttons for those guys. So it's heavily simplified now, and we boot this up. Press F9. We got this little box where we can type like surface, and it doesn't want to show up for some reason. I guess because it's not case insensitive, so I needed a case insensitive version. You have to do surface, you'll see. Okay, so I've got to do the case insensitive version, I see. Right, let's do that. Cool, case insensitivity, let's roll. So do people typically put I before it, like an I compare? We'll do that one. So the I compare is going to say like 2 lower. I think is that thing called 2 lower? Wait. I don't need the internet. Yeah, 2 lower, 2 upper. Good. So 2 lower. You know, I could have probably just made moan of that. It's probably quite easy. I don't know how much of a bugger that would. If it's any sort of locale stuff, right, in the C standard library, might not be that performant. So yeah, maybe we should just make our own. Have we got an ASCII thing in here? No, I want an ASCII thing in here. We'll just be like core ASCII to lower. And we put a char. So it's pretty simple. If char is if basically capital A, right, and C less than or equal to Z, and I think then we just say okay, return. So you got to shift it around, right? So if we man some ASCIIs, we can find out exactly because I forget. So right, it starts at 64 basically, and 96, 60. Right, so you just clear out the other bit. I think you clear out a certain bit. Because that is um wait, do you clear out a certain bit? Calculator. I forget these things. Yes, obviously 4 is the second last bit in a nibble, and 6 is this one on here. But I could have swear if you, yeah, I think we'll just do a subtract. Yeah, because you could probably turn that bit on here. So you need to subtract by 32. Return C, take 32. And the rest is return C. Because I think it might do some locale stuff. Like stuff with the locale and do if statements and silly stuff. Like, it might be like, oh, is your locale English or is your locale Spanish? Or whatever. And I think it might do something there. They usually do that, I think. Yeah, fair play. Hey VMT, I see it was you. I'm kind of blind. Hey, how you doing? How's things been? But then you get it for free. Yeah, yeah, free in terms of implementation. But I don't want that behavior. I want it specifically for ASCII here because. All right, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say no. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, language translation will come later if we do that. Oh, I love this screen. So that didn't work. Wait, I didn't use the iCompare version. Right. So capital S. No. No, you don't want to work? No. So I think I need to... Crap is going on? Too lower. Is that right? Oh. Oh, no, I need to plus. Maths. I want to get to the lower one. It says plus. So if I had... Yeah, 64, right, plus 32, 96, bam. So I'll end up on that one there. That's where the at symbol goes. Yeah, so wouldn't it be this one here all the way down to Z? Cool. Right, I went the other way around. That always happens when I try and solve equations. I just go the wrong way around. I'm like, no. Maths. Right, S, and there we go. Cool, so this is the location. I can even do capitals like depth, and it'll work. Cool. Very nice. So I want to also extend the information that we display in the... Alright, I'm going to close all this stuff. Right, I want to display the information that we display in the... So what would be nice is if we know, hey, this is a... Like, we kind of want to know probably the base MIP, number of MIPs. So probably want like a MIP range. And then we probably want a... Because we've got different views and stuff. Wait. We don't want to see texture views in this. These are a bunch of texture views and they just get in the way. Who cares? Right? Why these here? Why these repeats here? The whole point is that if you're in a base texture, as you look at that. So texture views, these guys don't count. Yeah. Silly me. So textures, texture views, separate. And right. So how do we know if it's a texture view or not? There's an aliased resource ID. That's what we need to look at. So when we do that fuzzy, when we do a bit of fuzzy, we want to say, well, if then we are going to continue past it. So that'd be nice. So now we don't need a MIP base. We didn't. Yeah. So these apparently only have these many textures. Yes, they must be looked at. Now the next thing to do is display the nice information next to it. So I want to know the number of MIP levels, the number of array slices. I don't want to know the number of array slices. It probably doesn't matter. Yeah, don't want to display anything in the search next to the name, or is the name just enough? So I've got dimensions. That is kind of, it doesn't take a lot of information. Neither does the number of MIP levels. The storage format starts to take information, sort of display that. Like it takes a lot of real estate to display that possibly. But then again, these names, they can get quite long. And this is probably just enough to work with. Alright, I think we can say that's good enough. I think we can say that's good enough. Right, so what's next on the to-do list? So let's tick off things that we've done, I guess. Tick. Empty tab, tick. 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 We didn't do it with the type. Type. Yeah, the type's fine. We don't care about the type. Okay, so next thing we want to look at is probably doing the tabbed view now. So we just probably want to allow different ways to well, the tabbed view can come next. Can come after, but I think that we just need to get one texture showing first. So let's do the selected tab. So let's make it so we can select a yeah, the tabs can come later. We'll start running up the tabs though. Because we know they're gonna happen. Right. So we need a new data structure called the tabs. But we're not really gonna implement, but we're just making sure we have to refactor it. So each tab is gonna have access to a resource ID. And then like, I guess there'll be some other options as well. So I have an array of tabs. So you click them open. So you can click them open I guess you can do reordering. I think we'll just use a stack. So I need to define a global array. There we go. So here's our tabs. So we'll push 1 on at the start, and then we'll just work out from there. So you build up the GPU system. I guess when you build up the yeah, what do you think when we say if G GPU texture viewer? No. Let's do it. Boot up the system. So the bottom somewhere here, we'll do some UI bits. So this will be core stack initialize. We'll pass in the GGPU texture viewer dot tabs. The allocator is going to be the static allocator. Oh, we probably could have had an array. If we're going to be doing that. But then you have a capacity thing to deal with. This works. Static allocator, right, and then number of tabs. Yeah, we'll probably just make that maybe let's just say maximum of 8 tabs. I don't know. Arrays. Should we see arrays instead? But then you need to know the number of. Yeah, I guess it'd be. So you can then instead just say equal 1. I forgot to do the record button. Sucks. I gotta download the VOD. Damn it. Oh well. Yes, we essentially the tabs to that. Right. So basically, we now need to know what the selected tab is as well. I guess I'm kind of doing both at the same time. So, what you want to say, you want to do one of those bounds checks. I think I got a bounds check. Well, I want to say, right, GGPU texture viewer dot select tab. Make sure that's inbounds with the number of elements that we have. If not, problemo. Now we get the tab. So GPU texture viewer tab. Select a tab. Right. So from here, we've got the resource ID. So you want to say if the resource ID exists, we want to view that resource or that texture. Then if not, we want to use the empty tab thing we made. So when we select, there's a button here. I think it's yeah, returns if it's been pressed. It's nice. So you just say if pressed. Wait. Yeah, I think it's like on the release. Yeah, then we're going to say tab res ID equal Because I don't have the pointer, which sucks. Right, we should probably make these res IDs instead. Things. I don't know why that's complaining. Did I? Right, I didn't make the these in the header files. Why? Res ID, number of textures, GPU resource get, and res ID. Yeah, so we just say, hey, this one's been selected, we'll now go and view it. So we should basically just see it disappear now. So we give it a run, click, disappears. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and put some proper so we're gonna have a panel on the left. Maybe if I could just say cut left. And maybe we cut left by I don't know, 200, is that too little? 250 maybe? No, maybe it's wait, this should probably be resizable in some way. And also, yeah, I probably need to make my window a bit wider as well. Can I do that? Is that gonna like destroy everything? Where's that constant? Right, game.h. Yeah, so it's kind of like an extended 720p along the Y. We should make it proper 900p, or is it 960p? Is that what it is? Or is it 900p? I think it's like 560 by 900, I think. Just so it's not all 1080p and not 720, somewhere in between. I think it's 560 by... I think that's right. $960p, I guess. Is it 960p? Right, let's calculate it. So we did 900. So what's the so going towards 16 from 9. Right, that's the number we need. So we take 900, multiply by that. Yeah, 16. That rings bells. Wherever did like 960, that's not right, is it? I don't think that rings bells. I think it's 1600 by 900 resolution. Yeah, that's the one I want to hard code. Let's do that one. So it's not quite full screen, but not quite. Okay. So hopefully this doesn't destroy anything. And here we go. Alright, good. The window is now wider. It's now 16 by 9. Excellent. A little bit short though. There we go. So we can... Awesome. Yeah, so the rendering code deals with dynamic. Yes, the game can handle resizing a window. Yeah, we can resize a window, and the game can. The rendering has been written to do different screen sizes, but I've just not plugged in the variable anywhere. Yeah, that's all it is. This is just fixed for now. So on the left, I want to put box down. So I guess I can just say UI box for now. Left rectangle. And then the box UI, box style. And here we go. Okay. So there's the left-hand side bar. I think I'm going to put a button in there or something. So you need a box end. And we want a button. So I guess we'll just cut. We're going to cut left again, and we'll call this one A, I guess. Good old A. Wait, is... Yeah, I'll think about that in a minute. So cut A, put it in there. And we'll just say like back like that. If go back, tab, res ID. See, this is the thing where you want to say, you probably want to put out the current resource ID. So you mutate it. Okay. You can still have access to it. Maybe we'll do a get. Resource get. Cool, so alright, let's quickly test that. Big back button. It's not what I'm looking for. It's hoping for it to cut top. Too big. 80 is probably like, a small 60 is probably good. We need as much real estate as we can get. Bit big, though, isn't it? Bit big. Nice little back button. Cool. Right, let's jot that down. Right, still a recap on that. What do I want to say? Right, so I've just worked on putting the tabs in. So in the well, the back end side of the tab. So in the texture viewer, we've got an array of tabs of at most 8, and they just hold the selected resource ID, and then simply we just say if this tab has a selected resource ID, we just draw the left panel for now, and then if not, we do the empty panel where we did all that search box stuff. So this is the start of seeing this all come together now. So we press F9, we have our resources here, so we select the surface, and then this is where we should see the texture in this portion here. But there's a left panel where all the properties are going to go, and there's a back button to go back and select something else. Awesome. So that's that one. So we could populate it with so the thing is, this is probably going to get really annoying, this thing, because it might not have enough room to see the bits on it and stuff like that. So what I think we should do, well, let's put the name, the name there so we can see what we're looking at. So we'll drop a field in, we'll do another cut, and we'll drop a piece of text or something. We'll just say text. We'll plop the name in there. Oh, we don't want a box style for the text, do we? Bit ugly. I guess let's just keep it going. Let's try that. Yeah, it makes it look like you should click it. Not a fan. So there's one called box style. Why haven't we just called the other one no box style? You know. So anything with a background, BG, we'll just zero it. Focused 0, active 0. So the text is the no box style. Right, it's just displaying there. We've got clipping, so that's why I was wondering the clipping was a bit weird on that input box. Like you can overflow this. So I clearly didn't put clipping in there, so we can fix that. So box start, what do we do? Box clip. Right, puts the clip shape in the box. Yeah, so box clip. Yeah, so why don't we do that? Input typeless. Text draw. Why don't I draw a box? I said draws the carrot. Box draw. Ah, but the text is not being clipped. So when you do a text draw, yeah, but surely this one clips. Right, so I want to do like a UI text. Box drawer, text drawer. No, but we saw it, just didn't. Right, it doesn't clip with the current item or something. Um. Right, so the children don't. Hmm. Right, so the children use this clip. Okay, so after the box drawer, they do the clip. Yeah, so I didn't put box clip here. Then it should do a widget end, right? Yeah, good. Okay, so that should clip it then. Oh yeah, it clipped. Cool. It even clips at the start as well a bit. Cool. Oh yeah, look at this. It might look ugly, but can you see that? Rounded clipping. Oh. Yeah. So I'm glad we fixed that. Yeah, so this needs to be a resizable panel. It's just not ideal if yeah, it's really not ideal if so we don't really have like a split. Let's look at the widgets that we have. We don't have like a split panel thing where you can have a selectable thing. Maybe we should build one because it's kind of common thing, right? So what some widgets we've got box button, toggle button, text, image, checkbox, radio button, input for like integers and text and vectors, progress bar, sliders, list, and scroll area. So we've got quite a lot of, we've got quite a lot of good things. The only things we're really missing is like a multi-line text thing, which I don't think we'll probably need. And probably some more. Like we don't support tables, but I think I'll probably build the table manually if I need one. And there's this sort of split view thing. We do have a separator, right? Did I do a separator? No, it's just me dreaming. Yeah, separators are probably like they could literally just be a box. So maybe it could be a shorthand. And a box is already quite shorthand, but yeah, a shorthand way of doing a box. Um, but let's write this API because I think we want like a split view. Is that what you call them, a split view? Ah, split view controller. Oh, yeah, I think you just call it split view. Or I call it split area. Because I don't call that a scroll view. But the basic idea is you get a rectangle and you have a split. Oh yeah. Also you split on the Y or the X. I've never really seen a split. I guess you do get them along the X. Yeah, horizontally. I've never really seen them done where they split across the horizontal plane. But yeah, I think we could do. We'll have a split something. Yes, split cursor, if you will. Where is it? Split along that axis. So I can say UI split horizontal, UI split vertical. And then, so it's all about getting it's all about having, you pass in a rectangle and you get two rectangles back out, basically. So yeah, you modify that. So you pass in this rectangle. And you get two that come back out. I wonder if I need to have some data structure instead. Maybe it's just like this list state. So just call it a split state. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Or George? How you been? Yeah. It's not really a new one, but yeah, it's my fancy shirt. Yeah, it's nice. I try and wear it not so much because I don't want to overwear it. But yeah, fancy shirt. This is the shirt when I got a job. I was like, and I had money. I was like, that I want it, so I spent it. It's horrible. It's horrible. I love it. Okay, I'm confused. So split cursor in out. Yeah, how's things been? What have you been up to? It's in and out parameter. We then want to have two rectangles. One is going to be the A side and one is going to be the B side. So A is an out parameter. This is going to be, left or bottom. A is going to be, well, why am I putting it in a comment when I just can say left or bottom? But then, why am I saying or when I can just put it in a union? Bum, bum, bum. There's levels to this amazingness. Right, so out parameter. If horizontal. Wait, see, this is where it's so silly. But yeah, you're splitting it. Like, are you saying where the splitting plane is going, or are you saying I want to split across, like horizontally? Yeah, I guess we'll yeah, split horizontally. I got two things across. You know what? It's so my brain. Like, come on, Milton. Give me that wine. Right. So, you got. Do you call that split horizontal or split vertical? I would usually say split vertical, but when you want to just drop something in code. Use the Vim terminology. You got to spread that word. What's this? What is it? That's a V split, isn't it? That V split. I don't V split much. Cut off my brain. Brain candy, cold turkey. So cut off caffeine all my days and nicotine. My brain is really long so far right now. Yeah, I can imagine. Uh, yeah, those things are very. They sort of become your new default, isn't it? And then when you come off it, you're just like so tired. But you got this. You got this. There's light on the other side of the tunnel, my friend. As for shirt, it is simple when you consider that candy or cake or other stuff. Or horrible for you confuse me. What? It's horrible for your body, but still like them so much. As for the shirt, and then don't speak about shirt, my brain. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I guess so. I see this as candy. Yes. We should consider X threshold differently, yes. X threshold. Oh, yeah, you probably want like a min max, isn't it? Yeah, probably a good idea. Yeah, they just call the horizontal splits. Strange. Very strange. I don't know why the default split is horizontal split in Vim. Yeah, I think we're gonna do anti-Vim because I feel like you want to say I want to split horizontally. I want to have two panes on the left and right. Okay, that's the way it just feels. It feels. Uh no. Is there another way we can get around this? I can say split left right, split up down. No, but okay, you're specifically saying split horizontally. No, I can still see it being said for both ways. Right, I'm just going with one of them. I'm just thinking myself in circles now. Horizontal. Right, if horizontal, if vertical. So I want to try sleep in. Highly unlikely, but go try this. But no. Yeah, you might as well. Yeah, sometimes I struggle falling asleep. Well, I used to. I don't do it anymore because I sleep with my partner every day, my wife. So that would be annoying. But I used to put on a podcast and just put it on and just fall asleep to it or whatever. Usually quite a good technique. But yeah, we need some kind of like threshold. We need like a min max. Do we want to like? There's the split state pointer. Gonna be amazing. So in the split state pointer, I want an in parameter. Which is probably. Do you want like a min max? Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be legit. Legit. We'll be able to do like a. I think we're gonna call it like separator cursor maybe, or separator. Alright. So internally we are going to make another one of these, and it's going to be called UI internal. Yeah, sounds reasonable. If you want to have some particular software to blame decision, I think Tmux uses the opposite terminology to Vim. Okay, that's good. We blame Tmux. Thank you. Damn straight. Right, there's no built-in widget internal ones. Alright, I'll do that. Widget. So this is vsplit. Because it's basically the same. You just pick. Well, we'll see how... So this should probably be exposed via a... this should probably just, get out of here with that one. We should probably just expose it via a boolean. And maybe that could have just been like flags or something. Split flags. But then you are just passing it. Like you could just pass it in here. So the default is going to be vertically. In parameter. Right, that's it. We'll call it split area. This is the way. Right, returns invisible. But what happens if the left... Yeah, it was returning invisible. I don't know. We'll work it out. Hey there, Lathy, how's it going? I'm starting to hate myself with what I challenge myself to do. Oh. That's okay. Sure it's only temporary. What's the challenge? What's the challenge? Right. I was gonna take a quick break and we'll come back, we'll get started on the split area. Shouldn't be too bad, I think. Right. Famous last words, BRB. Alright, welcome back everybody. I'm trying to make my own game engine in C#. Yes, I know I can call C++ scripts when working in C#, but the challenge is not to use C++. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you'd when you see Sharp for game development, it's like got a garbage collector. And you basically just spend a lot of time managing the garbage collector. But yeah, fair play. So we've got a bit of an issue to solve. We have these min cursor and max cursor. Now you could assert if they're not if max is actually min, and if they're the wrong way around. Or you could just mutate them. But then if you mutate them, so based on the rectangle size you've passed in where the split point is, but then you lose the original value that the user requested. Now they probably might change. They could probably change that every frame when they pass it in, but it still is error prone. So instead, we should probably bring them into local variables, do the modification to make sure they're sensible, and then use them. So I think we'll do something like split state. So we'll pull these boys in, right? And I'll pull in the split cursor. And I guess we'll just modify the no. Right, so first of all, we need to make sure that these two are within the width and height that we have available. UI. Oh, we have a dims. Ah, good old dims. Let's get the dimensions. Right. So given, so we've got to know like what we don't have an array in there. Whoops. Okay, that sucks. I guess we'll just put if statements everywhere. Not a fan of that though. We can call it dim instead. So if split state dot is vertical, then we want to use a dot y. If not, we use a dot x. So I'm trying right now to get rendering going, but the dum me not knowing how system drawing works. Huh. I guess it's like a 2D engine, and you're just going to leverage C#, high level things. Okay, so now you got this dim parameter. We need to make sure these things are clamped within 0 and dim. Then the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that maximum is greater than minimum. So I could stick it in here, but the problem is with the clamp, it's a bit it's implementation specific on like how it would behave, and it's a bit fiddly. So I think you want to say you probably want to do it afterwards, where you just say right, and maybe the compiler can optimize it if it, yeah. So you want to say, hey, pick the maximum between this and that result. And then that should give you corrected min-max values so they don't go out of bounds. And now you can apply to, now whenever you use a split, now we can use these to clamp the split cursor. But yeah, we'll do that as time goes on, but we'll at least sort those out. So the next thing we want to try and sort out is we want to produce, I guess we can call them A and B as well. Right, we want to produce the two boxes. And then there probably is a third box. Now in the style, we don't have this yet. I don't think. We have like a caret width. We have like this thing called inner spacing as well. What the hell is inner spacing? But maybe we can specifically. Oh, no. These sliders are way too big. So we could call this the we can call this split bar or the split grip. Yeah, the split grip. So it could just be either like a split grip. But I guess it depends on the style, the state. You probably want it in here. But you want a split grip thickness or something else. Width. Split grip width. Then you want a split grip color. And then you probably want like, I don't know the radius is in here, don't like that. Oh, maybe change the radius. And then split grip radius. But the grip is only going to have one color. So that'll be interesting. So we can use those to do the coloring of the grip at least. We haven't really got those in anywhere yet. So I guess let's just quickly decorate those in places. Split grip radius 16, I guess. Let's just tuck it all in there. And then the split grip color is just going to be white. So let's just dot these everywhere. We get a chance to. I think it's in the graphics as well. Let's just plot these because I don't want to forget about them, you know. The other one is the split grip width. So the width, let's just say it's 4 pixels. So let's find a neat place for those. And there we go. So now I've updated the styling. I want to go ahead and actually put the 2 rectangles in as output, and then draw the grip nicely so we can see that. So to calculate A and B, so A needs to be based on, A is the left hand side. Oh, I guess there's like a padding. Wait, there's a thing called inner spacing. What does that even mean? I guess that's to do with the yeah, when you put the button in the, maybe we use inner spacing. That just seems a bit general. Maybe that's enough for inner spacing is probably right. Yeah. I'm now trying to get rendering going. Oh, sorry, I've already read that one. No worries. Okay, so basically you've got a split point. So I guess you need to calculate this, right? So split state, split cursor, clamp it to this new min-max that you have made safe. Now from here, you have a position along the x or y axis in where to cut the. So basically, you need some form of like a end, which is split cursor minus style inner spacing, and then wait, minus style split area grip divided by 2, right? Then the other one is plus, and then plus. So that's B start. Now I think there's some form of like padding that we'll need to put in this split area as well. Yeah, we probably should work with like padding in that. But let's just at least write out these rectangles. Like we should have started a widget and stuff like this, but I've just been thinking of the specific logic for this UI. So we want to say, right, so given vertical is vertical split or not, a start is equal to rectangle dot, so that's the bottom, max, wait, sorry, it's y, min dot x, yeah, and then your b end is max. Okay, so that's pretty decent. And now we've got our the parameters to modify. So the split state dot a are both going to get set to just rectangle. Then we simply modify these things. So we go, oh, if it's vertical, well, I guess we just put if statements in, and then we could have just, because we're modifying, I was modifying two things. Yeah, we'll let the compiler do it. I can't be, it's just, I guess, easier. But yeah, so, oh, wait a minute. You're modifying specifically a, yeah, we'll manually, we'll do an if statement. Because, right. So if it's vertical, the min.x is just equal to rectangle min.x. And then the max x is the same. But the y, this is going to be equal to a start. See, I say start and end now. Right, that conforms more. Min a max. Legit. So that's only for A, so then B needs to have its treatment. So you get a bunch of B's in there. Cool. So there's your ABs. Then if you're horizontal, it's the same, but we flip these around. So this will say X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. So, and these would be a bunch of Y's. Cool. So that's the split rectangle being returned properly. So we need to get a nice render going for the grip, and then we'll render just some boxes just to see it working, and then we'll do the mouse controls. So the problem is these can actually go out of bounds, which is quite problematic. It's problematic. Yeah, because you don't want these boxes to go out of bounds and it's not visible anymore. So maybe the is visibleness should be displayed in the is visibleness should be inside the split state. We're chucking everything in the split state. Yeah, maybe it should go in there because the individual boxes could be made not visible. I mean, then you're just going to start putting stuff in there, but maybe it's not bad. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. This is fine. Because when we use these rectangles, that'll tell us if they're visible or not. So we don't have to worry about that in this control or this widget. Okay, so now we sort out those. I want to do the nice render. So we first of all need to do some widget start thing on widget end. So let's get these in correctly. So we do some sort of like widget start if it's visible rectangle. Pre-compute X hash ID. Right, did we need that for the yeah we'll need that. Okay. So I'm gonna start, we'll pre-compute the hash because what we want is to use that probably for the input, like mouse controls and that. I didn't think I liked doing that, but okay. Past me has decided this is the way. So I'll carry on. Then return is visible. Do you start and end a split area? Yeah, because it does all the clipping and that, doesn't it? Right, let's get that in. This is the way. UI widget end. Perfect. So what we want to do is it focusable? No. It kind of is, but not really the whole thing. Okay. We'll say the whole widget is focusable, but we'll do some. We'll specifically see if we're on the grip or not. But let's leave it like that. So we need to render the grip. We need to do the rendering. The rendering will typically go at the end. Typically goes because you want the other two things to be rendered in between. and then you put the grip down. But maybe you could just put the grip down. Yeah, I could just put the grip down. It'd be easier that way. So where do we render the grip? Right, there's some UI draw stuff. I think we could do some of this on it. That looks good. That looks nice. Where was that last one? Oh, this was in the list start as well. I've done it in the list view. Sort of stuff. Very nice. Exceptional. So now we need to do the rendering, so I can just plop it here. So just be an AABB. There's some form of rectangle that needs to be placed. Why is it? Oh yeah. So this is in the local space of the shape. Hey Type Beaver, it feels good. Amazing. It is yeah, it's awesome. You know. Are you a married man, Type Beaver? And how's it been? It's been time. Got some half dims of the in the local space of the shape that we're trying to draw. What does that mean? Well, what is your dim if it's vertical? Wait a minute, did I get my X and Y's the right way around? Yeah, did it. So the bar's going the other way. The bar's going the other way. So I want to calculate the bar half dim. Grip. Half width. If it's vertical, the half width. So the vertical split means it's a horizontal bar. Style split grip. Width. Else it is dims X. Wait. It's the wrong way around, isn't it? Yeah, so, yep. Then height. If it's vertical, the height is that. Then it's the Y. Oh, so this goes in here as a float. 32 times 2. Grip. Width, grip height. And then we got some nice radius, right? So pop the style. There's a well, it's the state style. Right. So given if the thing is pressed, grip is pressed, which we've still got to set. If the grip is pressed, then it's active. If not, the grip is focused. There's other things. I'm indeed American, but I'm shocked. The US 6'5". I don't know if you grew up in the US, you would be an NBA player. Would I? Is everyone small in the US then? People are quite tall in the UK, generally. You have tall people. Every time I go out, I always see at least, well not every time, right, but most times when I go out for a considerable amount of time, I see at least one person that's taller than me. it has to duck through a door. Because I just about don't have to duck through a door. And it's amazing. There's a state style. This is specifically all the stuff that changes based on the widget state. So apparently the radius can change as well. Questionable design decision, but we'll carry on. But there is a, we put down a shape, we give its local space sizes and offset is 0. Then we say, hey, it needs to be colored with a border. So this one needs to be colored without a border, just a simple solid, I think it is. Yeah. So we just put in a color. Yes. The color would be a split grip color. Oh, amazing. Then we need to have a center position. So how do we offset this grip? We need to find that, you know what, I should have just made a couple of, so grip center position, and then a grip half dims. And now we say vertical, right. So the width component is X, the height component is the split. And the other way around is the other way around. Right. So the half dims go in there. Yeah. So now we need to work out the center position. So center position is the center position of X. So if it's a vertical split, it's just splitting across the up and down. We have two rectangles given back to us from the top and bottom. Center position of that grip is going to be, well, we already worked out, right? It's exactly what a split cursor is. I wonder, we've got to probably deal with coordinates. So relative from hang on a minute. This was an offset from the min. Rectangle min dot. Yeah. So I need the min. So that's the center position. So it's vertical. Which one is it? It's the horizontal plane. So this will be then UI for rectangle min dot x plus UI rectangle half dims dot x. Cool, so we just repeat that. And that should be the logic to render a grip. Still got to plug in some other bits, but that's good enough, I think, to get it tested out. So the next thing to do would be to get this plugged in and just see how well it works. then we can tweak how we can tweak some things about it. So back in the texture viewer, we have this lovely box start here and all that, and we do a cut left. So here's the new way. We get the split state. So the nice thing is you can nest this as well, so you can have a nested split state, so that's pretty nice. So you got a bunch of in parameters. So I don't really care about the min max, maybe. You know, I care about the min. No, maybe I do care about the min max. Let's say min of, well, min of 0. I was thinking about making it collapsible initially in the design, but now I think I need to make it have a split view thing. So we should probably have a, maybe we can have a collapse button which properly brings it in. Maybe I could say 20, and it's just, and then max could be like probably 500. So we don't care about the split curse, that could be zeroed. Well, no, okay, it'd be minned, that's fine. It will be minned. Ooh. Yeah, we probably want to set it some reasonable default. So let's say 200. 300. Is vertical false? Now the left and that come out. Nice. So here's the gist of how it works. We say if UI split area start. I need to have an ID version and a non-ID version, because passing in the ID all the time is annoying, and if we're not using it in a for loop, it is okay to have the ID just be the line number. So rectangle split state style UI split sweet. So now it's easier to work with. So we pass in the rectangle. We then pass in the address of split state, and then we pass in our super ugly box style. So probably want to pass in like a no box style for that one actually, because I don't really want the box to show up. It's the other ones that get the box. Yes. So here we then call UI split end. It's very end, right? And now in here we can draw the boxes. So I want to just quickly comment this out. Yeah, actually no. We've got a box here. So yeah. Did I remove the else? Damn it. Okay. So I want to remove the, yeah. So now this becomes split state dot left. Great. Now I need to draw a box as well. UI box for the right. So we'll use split state.right just so we can see it. We'll have a bit of a play. With the box style and voila. So hopefully this all works out. We get a nice split view with a grip, but it won't be clickable yet. We can add that. Not too much work. So put F9, select something. Right, so that's quite good for a first attempt. We've got some sort of like padding and stuff that I'm not really fussed about. We've got like this vertical thing here, which is nice, but it's too big. Yes, this hasn't been affected by the padding. So I did say see, I wonder. Why were the boxes super padded? Is that from this or because yeah, this seemed super padded. Whereas this thing seemed... Oh, I didn't do a half dim, did I? Whoops. Right, that's better. So you can see the grips here. You can see the grip is there, but it is kind of... Yeah, so the padding comes from the fact that it's inside the widget. Which is fine. It just means that no box, no box style that we made. So really what we're looking at is there shouldn't be any padding, probably. Shouldn't be any border either. I think that's sensible. That's better. But is that still margin or something dumb like that? But we need margin, right? Guess not. It might be funny because that's got a no whatever border. We'll have a think about it. But yeah, that's good. I like it. So now we've got this sort of split. We need to make it so if we hover over this, we, you know, can click it and all that and get a responsive thing. So there's like these different grip colors and that. We kind of want to know, like, you know, which one is. We've got like a gray of some kind, but gray. So alpha. So what steps should I do? I'll just do a midpoint gray for now, and I'll like in the middle, and then I'll just we can think about that at some other time whenever it's better to think about it. So basically, this should actually all be gray. Oh, sorry, focused. Active could probably. Oh. Probably turn to green or something, I don't know. It's a bit weird, but this is the way, I guess. Awesome. So now we've got to get the actual hovering logic in. So we go back to that scroll. Where was the last time when we did this? Cool. Right. So okay, there's this sort of like pressed logic here. So we need to right. So we need to know if we have the focused mouse widget or not. There's a whole bunch of stuff here we'll sort out. So I guess let's just grab it all. There's like a rectangle here we've got to make. And then like, this does like the X and Y of a scroll bar. Wait, actually there might have been another one. Ah, we did it in the scroll bar anyway for the list view. This one's even simpler, so we can take this. If is pressed, doing the scrolling. All I wanted to know is focus and pressed. That's all I need. Good, good, good. So in here, we can change all that. So after we know this information, we know the rectangle. So our rectangle, I think I got UI rectangle from, damn it. But yeah, maybe we should make one of those. Initialize from centered coordinates. Center position. Maybe you just do it the other way around, where you initialize the I think this might be a bit off. Okay. No, maybe it's not. Yeah, I think that's a shit a bit off, but oh shoot. Right, so just undid that. Yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll make that. I think this is a little bit. Where is it? This one here. Grip center position A plus the split cursor. That doesn't put you in the center of the grip. Like if we, I'm a bit confused. Because it looked fine. It looks in the middle. That's pretty good. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. So I guess we want to compute the let's just compute it. So this would be grip center position dot x take grip half dims dot x. Basically the same everywhere. So these two are pluses, these two are y's, and voila. So now you've got your grip rectangle. You should be able to say, okay, get the current mouse position. If this rectangle, then that means it's scroll focused. No, I'm not fussed about that. So if we're mouse focused, grip is focused. If we're mouse focused and the grip rectangle contains the mouse, that means we're focused. If focused and the mouse button is pressed, then we've used the input and that's scroll bar wire stuff. I'm not sure if we're fussed about that. Oh, I missed a couple of things here. From earlier. Oh no, I've already done it actually. Whoops. I didn't miss those. Why Mac is bad at gaming even though it has such a powerful configuration. Never understood. Yeah, it's because it's just one of those situations where gamers are not already on Mac, so it just takes time for Apple to sort of pay developers to port stuff to their hardware. Mac hardware only just got good within the past. How many years now is it? When did Apple M1? When did the M1 come out? Yes, it's not even been 5 years yet. Like, things take, 5 to 10 years to really change. Right. So that's the reason. And it has to be better than Windows. No, maybe not better Windows. But yeah. Probably has to be convince a lot of Windows people to change over. Which I don't think will happen to so grip is focused, is pressed. So now we need to do like is pressed logic. Ooh. So we didn't miss this. What is this thing about? So it's not pressed, we get the scroll area. What am I doing here? So if the scroll area doesn't contain the point, I'm checking to see if it's in bounds in some way. Right, if it's not focused. Wait a minute, not pressed and not focused? And if the left button is pressed within the area rectangle, right, the bar is not pressed, it's allowing you to jump further. Right, okay. That's nothing to do with what we're doing here. We're just doing this little grip thing. This is going to be good. If grip is pressed, where's the logic there? GUI has input equal true. We missed that. Cool. So for this one specifically, we just want to drag this grip. So we need to move the grip offset to where the mouse is. Wait. This is some huge copy paste. Yeah, I wanted to get rid of this, didn't I? I said I didn't care about this and deleted it. Did I delete the wrong thing? No, there's no red. Okay. Right, so if it's been pressed, and you got some relative mouse movement, am I fussed about that? Probably not, I'm just fussed about snapping it directly to where it needs to be. So, the grip, the split state, split cursor, that is equal to wherever the mouse is, mouse position. Now, it really depends. Is the split state is vertical Boolean set? So that is vertical and a split along the Y. So you're saying, hey, it's equal to mouse cursor dot Y take a min, where the a min box goes. I think that's right. And then you want to probably clamp it within the range of acceptable values. Clamp between split cursor min and split cursor max. And then that is basically it. I think that should be us being able to resize the split view and actually making it a split view now. I like Windows for gaming as of now. Fair play. Wait, did I convince you to use Windows? I'm not using Windows, by the way. Alright, so I'll hover over it and it does this now. We can click on it. And it does nothing. No. Why is that, right? Does not let you want to know if it's been pressed. Oh, it is pressed. Same thing. Wait. Ah. I was checking the scroll bar focused hash. We're talking about the mouse focused hash. Alright, here we go. Oh, juicy. My one issue with it is that it did open up very big. Oh, it thinks I'm clicking on it no matter where I am. No. So clearly, yeah, is focused. Oh, this is legit. So hit that open, boom. I can't click here anymore. I can do that and ooh. Focus ain't a good word anymore. I think we need another hash built in to the internals to specifically mention something about the that is a grip hash or something, because so we could say like, hey, this, so when you press down on it, and you've moved it, like you're already mouse focused at that point. So we probably need another one to say like split split view, split area grip, focus widget hash. So I think we'll do something like that. So we need to say if is focused and whatever. I forgot what it was. Let's go to the list to start. It's in here. Let me say. This is the logic. Right, so if the grip is focused and the left mouse button has been pressed this frame, we then say that we have a focused grip and it's equal to the ID hash. Now, whenever we're in here, we say the grip is pressed so long as the ID hash is equal to us and the left mouse button is still pressed. Now, what we need to do is we need to make sure we unset this. So when you begin a frame, oh crap, there's a next. Right, I think I. So to start the frame, we clear the next one out, the next frame. Wait, is that what you want? Hang on a minute. Yeah, yes, we keep setting it so long as. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I accept that's the way it works. Right, so you say next frame, it is grippable, basically. And then you do that in here as well. Okay. I think that's the extra bits we need to solve those problems. Click here and it's only doing it for a short amount of time as well. No, but it's ready when you release it, right? Why does the scroll bar one work? Is it because it's got a big area? That can't be right. Yeah, I don't know how the scroll bar one works. I think we've got a bug in that. Maybe it's just the scroll bar's always been big enough so you didn't drag it off. Yeah, something like that. It's alright, we can correct this still. So I've just got to think about it differently. So in this case, you press down on the grip and so now you're going to become this sort of selected grip, if you will. But as soon as you've been released, I guess we've just got to handle that. So we should probably drop the other one. So if you're focused and you become checked, where did you undo it? Yeah, I think it was in frame end we did something like this. Yeah, so we say if the mouse button has been pressed. Right. So I think we just want to say if it isn't pressed, If it's not pressed, then we can unset this split area ID hash none. Yeah, we can unset that, which would be nice. So now, if you, as soon as you press it once, it becomes the one that's selected. Then that's all you need until you're the one that is selected. And this has been released. Well, not has been released, say it is not pressed. Then for this one, yeah, but I guess you're saying that globally, you're just saying if it's not pressed. Yeah. So I think that's enough logic. So we hit F9, select the texture, click over here. Oh. You've got to be over it still, but it keeps it. So is pressed. Right, I put the is focus on it. Get rid of that. Yes, this is data type Brave Teddy. S32 times 2 is a vector 2. Hey Greenblade, welcome back. How's it going? How did how are your friends and that? Oh yeah. Split view. So now we can click here, drag a split view. I guess you gotta click on the grip. It's a bit annoying. We should probably make that a little bit more forgiving by using the inner spacing as well. So there's the inner spacing thing. We should probably also take away the style inner spacing. Does it support CSS? Yeah. No. Why would anyone want to support CSS? What? Uh, um, sorry, I compiled it. Skeptical. So the center position X is probably a bit off. If I remove that inner spacing, right, it starts there, ends there. Oh, there's two lots of inner spacing. Right, obviously. Wait, no, that is a two lots of inner spacing. There's the grip. Right. Um, Huh? Why does it reduce? Well, let's multiply by 2 and see what the error is. To see if it goes backwards anymore. Right, it works out perfect, apparently. Right. Why is it 2 lots of inner spacing that I need? That seems wrong. Oh, the grip. Oh my days. Half dims. It's divided by 2. Divided by 2 there. Um. It's really skinny now. There's a bunch of inner width of 4 pixels each side. Yeah, we need to make that grip width bigger. It's way too small. And that inner spacing should probably be only applied. Not each side, right? The inner spacing. No, it should be applied each side. Yeah, maybe we should make the grip a bit bigger. The issue in it. Make it 8 pixels. Something sensible. Right, it's better. So you got a nice big grip, you can grab it. Oh, amazing. Right, that's a really good place. I like it. A bit of a catch up. Yeah, juicy. Oh yeah. Lovely. Lovely. Oh, right. So yeah, I think I want to cut that into a nice clip as well. Um right, what am I doing? Things to do. Maybe I'll show it first. I should always show first visuals and then talk about code. Wait. Right, so we've gone and added a nice split view to the when we view the texture. So we click on the depth texture, for instance. It says the name here, and we've got a lovely split view where we can sort of drag this slider and it has sort of a min and a max range. So on the right hand side here is where the texture is going to be displayed, obviously with much better theming. But you can also press this back button and go back, and you know it retains where it used to be. Kind of nice. So yeah. Right, what else do I want to do? Yeah, maybe I should check. Oh, I didn't even talk about the code, did I? I'll do that. Damn it. Things. So now in the code where we say, hey, if the tab has a resource that's selected, we've got this new nice sort of split state thing that you make where you say where the split cursor defaults to, what the minimum max ranges are, and if it's a vertical or horizontal split. And now we just say split area start, and we get back a couple of boxes. So we get back a left box, which we can then do a left box that you saw with the name in there and the back button. So there's the name, there's the back button. And then here's the right box, which is still got to obviously fill in. So if we hop into the UI system, we added this. Here's the split state. You've got the in-out parameter, which is the split cursor. The in parameters, which are the min-maxes, is vertical. And here's the out parameters for the two boxes it splits the box into. So that's been quite nice to implement. So now we have a split area, and we can also have nested split areas if we want to do something like that too. I think I might make this YouTube video tomorrow. It's already quite late, but it's good. Because usually I'll end an hour earlier, but I've started an hour later, so I decided to end a bit later. So I think I should record a intro. But I also don't have to record an intro, but I do because I'm wearing this shirt. I won't be wearing it tomorrow. But also I'm tired. Let's see what I can do. Maybe it doesn't matter what I wear in the intro. That's a good point. Yeah. I've got an idea of what I want to say. I've got a thing on the desktop. It's too bloody long to get to the desktop these days. Yeah, it's got this presentation where I just talk about, hey, Devlog 3, what have we completed since the last time we spoke? All of this stuff. Yeah, I need to get, working on graphics, R&D. But for now, texture viewer. And then like here's links and stuff. And then I can talk about, I probably need to talk about like, these videos are coming later. Possibly. But yeah, I think I'll wait tomorrow until my brain has refreshed and got a lot of things. Got a lot of juice. Bank holiday weekend, exactly. But yeah, in future I need to be a bit more on point about that. Exactly. Bank holiday. Somewhat busy tomorrow, but hey, I'll find some time. Yeah, that was good progress today, guys, wasn't it? So we got a press F9. You can toggle this texture view. You got your textures, fuzzy search. You can click. We wrote a split view control today, so we can easily put some stuff in here now, and then we'll be able to view a texture on the right. So overall, that is. Oh, I just spent ages on the text on the split view. But yeah, a few things done. So I guess next time we'll be getting all the information in the left hand side panel, getting a texture on the right hand side, add all the zoom controls. Yeah, that'll probably be next stream. It's just basically getting any texture being viewed in there, being able to select different MIP levels and stuff, and see all the information. And then after that, the third stream will probably be tabs and any finishing touches. Maybe we'll make it look better. Am I streaming tomorrow? No, I've got family stuff going on. But I stream on Tuesdays at 6:30. Sorry, 7:30 p.m. GMT +1. That same time on Thursday, and then Sundays usually at 6:30 GMT +1. But sometimes I start early, and well, today I started a bit late, but yeah. So I guess let's find somebody to raid. Yeah, there's a Discord. Go check it out. You're gonna hang around. You can also get access to the code if you want via subscriptions, Twitch. If you're a Twitch subscriber, you can get access to the code, or Ko-Fi. Those are the two ways to support the channel and the stream. Have a good night. Thank you so much. You too. We got raid last Mars, you know. We have to. Right, have a good bank holiday Monday, everyone. I'll see you all, or have a good start to your work week if you're not in the UK at least. I'll see you all on Tuesday, Thursday, or Sunday. Dennis, exactly. I'll catch you later.